What's up, my Broodwar brothers? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you like the new intro. It's somewhat reflective of how I'm feeling right now. Shot down by a higher power, but there's something rolling underneath the surface, an upswell of energy. Thank you so much, you 300 beauties, all of you that have subscribed so far to my new channel. I love you guys, and I hope you're having an awesome December so far. Guys, cards on the table here. Ever since my ban, I've been working on pushing KCM for replay access. Sent donations to him to make him see that, yes, we are serious. Yes, we are here. I've requested help from my friend Daniel for translation to make communication a little bit better. Thank you. Shout out to Daniel. I love KCM, guys. Unfortunately, though, he has declined to give us that access. He's citing legal issues, so I don't think there's any more space to push there. Instead, I'm going to be turning my attention now towards Ultimate Battle and some of the other series that are out there, trying to get in communication with those guys and see if we can't work out some sort of deal to get access to those videos. Guys, I wish that your love of Broodwar was enough to make ourselves heard, but unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money to crack this nut and show these Koreans that English content is worth involving. If you want to support me and my efforts, please consider joining my Patreon page. You'll get exclusive updates on what I'm up to, photos, stories, and if anything happens to this channel, God forbid, you'll have access to all of my newest videos no matter what. Thanks so much for sticking with me, guys. I know it was a long announcement. Let's get into some Brood.
What is up, everybody? Here we go. KCM Season 4 of 2021. We're going into match 1 here, guys. It is the 4th week. We have an excellent lineup for you today. I'm going to bring it up right now. We've got Royal Light and Scan representing our Terran players. Snow, Best, and Tyson for our Prodosses, and Soma Queen 815 for the Zerg. It's looking good, guys, with a Soma versus Tyson game to start us off. Just wanted to mention before this game gets swinging that if you don't have any money right now to support, don't worry about it, guys. I totally understand. I'm actually at home right now because of supply chain issues in my town. Not able to go to work today. Not anything to do at work today, so I'm just being sent home for this Wednesday, and I totally understand if you guys are in the similar boat, not able to support or don't feel financially stable at the moment. Can completely relate. So if you do want to still help out, you still want to try to support what I'm doing and try to support English broadcasting of Starcraft, especially Korean games, there's a lot of stuff that you can do, guys. You can come over to the Discord channel and send me a message, and I will let you know what those things are. Won't require anything but just a bit of your time, and it will end up helping me out a lot in the long run. Now, we've just witnessed Soma canceling a drone and going for a 9 hatch. Quite an interesting opener here. I've seen this online a little bit. I've experimented with myself as well. This is going to give Soma an insane number of larvae. It's kind of ridiculous the amount of lings that can be produced with this build. And basically the build here, the idea of this 9 hatch build is to have a crazy amount of lings early so that the gateway expand really can't do anything, and it could even result in Tyson dying here if he doesn't take this seriously. A lot of Protoss players don't have much experience against this build, so they might underreact, and in that case could end up just dying immediately. He's going to throw down this Nexus, actually. Not sure I agree with this. We'll see how it ends up working out. He needs a forge here right away. There's, I would say, 8 to 10 lings going to be popping out here in just a few moments. And we've only got a single zealot. There's going to be another zealot popping out shortly. And there's 6 lings popping there. So the 2 there. So we're going right up to 10 lings here straight off the bat. Tyson sees all of this, and it is cross-map position, so it's going to take quite a while for these lings to get over to that wall. But you can see the forge has just now started. A drone, that scouting drone, has made his way to the 3rd base now. Gonna throw down an additional hatchery, so you can see the strategy here from Soma is just to get out a ton of hatcheries early here, get into these lings, put on a lot of pressure, and then have a firm macro follow-up to this build. Now, dealing a little damage here to the gateway, but he's not committing very heavily onto that. He's going to go after this zealot on the bottom, but Tyson pulling back smartly here. The gateway's getting a little bit low, but the photon cannon is nearly complete. I think that in the end, Tyson will end up holding this. A nice surround there on one of those zealots. More lings have arrived. There's, of course, no speed here just yet, and he gets behind that zealot, so going to pick the first zealot off there, and the second zealot is pushed out towards the middle of the map. He is a sacrifice, not going to be able to make it back to his home base. Instead, just going to be sent across the map for a bit of that scouting information, which is all good. At least Tyson managed to survive that early onslaught. No gas yet being taken by Soma, so it looks like the follow-up here going to be even more hatcheries and likely an evolution chamber with the spore to deal with that early Corsair. We'll see if Tyson manages to find some way in to punish this type of greed. What Soma's going for right now will result in an extremely profitable mid-game and a very powerful late game in terms of that economy, should he be allowed to just grow like this without any punishment. There's another hatchery, so going directly up to 5, 6 hatcheries, is it already? I think one more. Okay, 5 hatcheries in total. We're only 5 minutes in with second gateway popping down. This is a little bit crazy. Like Tyson going to forego any sort of Stargate here. He's got a Citadel. We're going to see a pretty wild all-in here from Mr. Tyson. I don't know if this qualifies as an all-in, but going 4-gate Zealot with the quickest speed possible, in my mind, is pretty all-in. If Soma manages to survive to Hydra Lurker, then this is not going to deal any damage whatsoever. If he has perfect positioning on sunken colonies, if he has sunken colonies in every location, this will deal almost no damage. So we'll see how that positioning is, how that base setup is for Soma. Is he well prepared for this? Does he have a carapace upgrade on the way? I wouldn't be surprised to see that carapace upgrade being researched right now. There will be a brief window here where the carapace upgrade is just slightly behind where... Oh, there's the evolution chamber right now. Okay. So waiting until the last moment there to add on that evolution chamber. Not going to have that carapace upgrade. Does he have some sunkens? Okay, 1 sunken so far, 2 sunkens. Pretty good building positioning there with the Evo chamber and the sunken right next to the mineral patches. Easily can use drones to defend that sunken. But this is going to be coming hard and fast here. 5-gate Zealot timing attack with the +1 and the speed. That is an insane number of Zealots heading across the map right now. And I'm not sure that Soma has the numbers here to actually hold this off. 80 supply, nearly, I would say about half of that is just pure Zealots. And here he comes. He's going to go towards this natural. Soma gonna have to react immediately to this. So far just staying behind the wall here. He's left a bit of a gap, so hopefully it gets in the way there in time. There we go, getting that first Hydra in the way. Nicely done. These Zealots are not doing much here so far, just kind of getting glitched out on these drones. Drones are going down. 2 or 3 have fallen so far, but this is a pretty good hold by Soma. He's going to block the ramp as well. Beautiful job with the drones on the ramp, keeping all of the Zealots out of the main base, not going to allow them to run up into the main. Okay, one does manage to run up in there, but that's fine. Just going to track that one down. Might get a couple of drone kills, perhaps. Okay, nice pullbacks by Soma. It's going to run around inside the main and be even more annoying here just for another few seconds, but I think overall a great hold by Soma, and he should be in an excellent macro position from here. And where does Tyson go from this spot? He's got to come out and I think just throw down a Nexus with some cannons, hope that that comes down, because his Templar are late. He's lost a ton of Zealots. He just doesn't have that map control right now that you kind of need in order to get out at third base, so maybe a hidden base here wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Definitely annoys the shit out of me when I see Protoss players do that type of stuff. Hiding bases out on the map, even when they're way, way behind, and get a Protoss player back into that game. But so far, just trying to fight here with Zealots is not a winning battle. He's losing so much. Soma just spreading out his Hydras, pulling back the Hydras that are being targeted, and fighting very easily through these units. There's that first Templar. It's so low on energy, it's just not going to be ready in time. Both the cannons go down immediately. All of these Zealots are going to get eaten alive, and this is it. GG. Soma takes the victory with the 9 hatch. An excellent game to start us off this week of KCM. All right, hopping right into game number 2. Soma making Zerg look absolutely broken in that last game. A nice build being pulled out there. 9 hatch. We don't see it too much, but it looked incredibly powerful there against the Gateway first opener. And Tyson just not able to get in anywhere, not able to deal the damage with those Zealots. Soma's all over that. Looked really good, but I think that's kind of how things are going to go here this week of KCM. I made some predictions before starting this video, but none of my predictions see these 3 players on the far right of the roster doing basically anything this week. Scan, Tyson, 815. I think that the rest of the players in this roster are just a cut above them, and it will be a serious upset if they manage to take any games this week. So we've got Scan here going up against Soma. We'll see what he's able to bring out here. He's gone for a 10 pool. That Overlord out. Scan on the other side, getting a wall in here on Ascension. Unfortunately, his Marines will be popping out on the outside, and Soma is going for an early pull here, so he can put on pressure with those Lings. Scan hasn't seen the Overlord either, so he can't not see that Overlord. He doesn't know the location of his opponent, but it looks like he's going to send his SCV towards the south anyway. Oh, this is bad, actually. Scan sending his SCV down towards the bottom right. And he doesn't have a Marine on the inside. There we go. Okay, lifting off. He does get the Marine on the inside. But I think that the surface area here with the Lings on that left-hand side supply depot. Oh my god, he's lifting off. Oh, the Lings, no. Oh my goodness, that is going to be it. GG, man. Scan is going to have to tap out here. Doesn't have a hope in hell of winning this game now. It was going to be close no matter what if Scan took this game, but now from a deficit, I don't think it's even a slight possibility here that he can bring this one back. He loses that Marine just running across the map. He's trying to deal damage with his SCV, but I believe that Soma's all on top of that. He's just going to attack the command center here. Almost picks it off, only 100 HP on that. But he gets the next Marine as well, and 2 Lings are in the main, damaging the SCVs. Soma's already got his lair on the way. A 2-hatch Muta from this position would be just an immediate closer. There's no way that Scan can get his shit together here in time to actually hold off some Soma Mutas here, especially a Soma 2-hatch is just so scary and so quick. He's trying his best to keep himself alive here. He's going to fight with the Marine. Oh, just barely not able to do it. Oh, and the Ling slips by with 5 kills on it. Runs over, back around into the base. Going to look for some more kills here on the mineral line. This game is over, you guys. Sorry to say it. I know that people don't like me to call it early, but there it is. GG is called. And Scan taps out Soma with a second victory. Up next, we've got Best. We'll be taking his turn against Soma here. Whoa, a hatchery out in the middle of the map there. Well, not the middle, but it is a very sneaky third base over there in the top left as he was being harassed by that probe. He's got the spawning pool down as well. Back at home, Best has his Nexus on the way. Some Lings popping out here. Soma should be just taking his natural base without too much problem. Oh no, that probe actually sneaks around. There we go. Soma does come back and spots the probe there. He's going to go ahead and chase that down, and the third base will come up here for Soma. So everything working out pretty normally here. Just seeing that base out in the middle of the map on Neo Sylphid made me a little bit worried, but looks like everything's worked out here into a pretty normal game. That third base just being forced in a strange location because of the probe there. And he didn't take the mineral only, which is understandable. Having the high ground with a small ramp is very, very powerful against Protoss players. Now, a layer on the way already. It's going to be a Spire build here from Soma, but does that mean he's going into Mutas, or will he just be getting the Scourge out for the defense? Still remains to be seen. Probe getting very, very low here. Only one more hit. Soma should be able to get this now. 1 HP. Are you kidding me right now? There we go. Bringing the drone down just to finish it off. 1 kill drone going to meander over towards that third base. Start to saturate the third. And the first Zealot will be out here shortly, making his way into that third base, trying to get the harassment started. We don't have many Lings out on the map at the moment, and an idle drone. Uncharacteristic for our Zerg player Soma. It's like the Zealot gonna tuck himself away behind one of these mineral patches. Oh, a drone kill. Hold on. That's more than you can hope for generally against a Zerg player of this caliber. Still this idle drone at the main. There we go. He does find that and click it in the right direction there, sending it to work. Got Soma with a pretty big swell of Lings at the moment. The Spire on the way. He's going to make a run by here. There's not enough in position. Does he go right after the cannon? Yes, he does. There we go. Cannon is down. More Lings are passing through. We've got more Lings just outside the main. Should run in there and try to deal some damage to that cannon that's just been put up. He's got more Lings on the way, I assume. Or is he just going to drone up from here? These Lings running into the natural, dealing some damage to those probes. More Lings being produced here. He's going to come and try to break through into Best's base and really punish him for not having good positioning there in the front. But that photon cannon is now finishing up. We've got the +1 here on the way for those Corsairs. But only 2 Zealots here, and 2 Zealots are heading out. Oh, bad timing from Best. He sends the Zealots out just as Lings are running in. He's going to lose quite a few probes here. He's trying to block the access to the main base, but these Lings are loose here. To be dealing quite a bit of damage, stopping all of this mining and maybe even denying the cannon once again. Here comes some Scourge, could be here to pick off the first Corsair. The Corsair is actually up at the top of the map, dealing damage to an Overlord. I think it's going to be picked off here. That's going to be huge. Here we go. Going to lose the Corsair. Damn, Best with that first Corsair being picked off. He is in a horrible position now. As long as Soma has continued his macro, and you know he has kept up with that macro, building into more drones. He dealt a great deal of damage there with that those first couple of Ling floods there, and now he gets another Corsair. Oh, so painful for Best. I really feel for this guy right now. Losing that many Corsairs in the early game means that Soma's just going to be able to continuously build mutas here, and Best is going to have a very, very hard time moving out. He's trying to move right now. He's trying to get out there on the map and deal some damage, but a good surround here on one of those Zealots, and this pesky muta just picking away at the Zealots from above, dealing damage. The Lings are going to get that surround and finish off these last 2 drones being evacuated here. They could end up getting picked off, but no. Sunken Colony finishes, and a few more mutas pop to deal that final bit of damage. Double Stargate is the answer from Best. He knows that with those first 2 Corsairs being taken out, it's going to be very hard to seize control of the air, so grabbing that second Stargate gives him some sort of a chance here of actually winning back air superiority. However, Soma's not going to let that go lightly. Oh, he's really got to get a cannon over here or something. Just constant harassment here, smacking down even more of these Corsairs. Just pure muta versus pure Corsair. How is this even happening? Kills 2 Corsairs and doesn't lose a single muta. Some pretty good moves there by Soma. Backing away right before his mutas begin to go down. Gonna fall back there. Look at how low these mutas are. Oh, and +1 carapace as well on the mutas, making them that much harder to kill with the Corsairs. Now, he's gonna fly in here. He's got a lot of Scourge. He wants to get a few more picks on some of these Corsairs. That's gonna make it even harder for Best to move out. He gets another 1 or maybe even 2 Corsairs there with those Scourge. Best just not pulling back in time, taking that fight, and ends up losing more of his air control here. Got 4 Corsairs ready to go. Can they actually take this fight and kill the Scourge and Muta? Oh, this is so dangerous. The footsies here between these 2, still gonna lose probes. Oh, another hit with the Scourge, and the other one gets picked off. So the Scourge have temporarily been eliminated. That threat has been pushed back for now from Best, but Soma has built up into an incredible economy here. He's got huge amounts of Hydras coming across the map. He's ahead in supply over Best, and the majority of what Best has in that supply is just pure Corsair, so not going to be helpful against these mutas coming forward right now with the Lings. The mutas, or the, Hydras. The Hydras should be able to dive on top of these cannons, and GG is called. Wow. Soma on a tear right now. smacks down Best, Tyson, and Scan 3 in a row. Nicely done. Let's jump into that next game. Okay, up next, we've got Light versus Soma. Light spawning here in the top right. Soma down in the bottom left. Is this a new map? I don't think I've seen this before. I'll head over to Wikipedia here and take a look. I think this is called Allegro, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think it is Allegro, this new map here in the KCM. Might be a future ASL map, we'll see. It's either that or the Largo. Is it Largo? I think it might be called Allegro. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. We are entering a new phase of KCM. The ASL has finished up here. Get some of those new maps and allow the players to get some tournament experience with those maps, so that they are prepared for that next season of ASL, and gives us a little preview to see what kind of maps might be out there kicking around right now. Of course, it isn't for sure that this will be an ASL map, but must be in the running at the moment to have made it here so far. Now this drone is gonna take some damage. He wanted to go for a scout there, but turns around after spotting the command center there. Good enough for him. Soma's gonna send that drone home, and a gas on the way for Light. Let's see if he goes for just the very common 2-racks play, as I'm sure that Soma will end up going for his patented 2-hatch Muta. He has done a bit of dabbling with some crazy Zerg. He's done some interesting stuff with queens that we've seen in the past as well, but the tried and true method here for Soma is really just get those mutas out as quickly as possible and fight until your opponent is dead, or you progress into that mid game. A factory on the way here from Light. Okay, interesting. So not going to be that two barracks play that's so common right now. Instead, maybe going into a Valkyrie play. He knows how much that Soma relies on his 2-hatch Muta, so maybe preempting that, gonna go and make Valkyries immediately. A super early Valkyrie build here could be really good. I don't see the armory just yet, and we have no second gas, so it's yet to be decided. There are still a few other options that Light could go for here. Could be going into a Goliath build, although having that first factory floating and no second factory on the way, it is going to be a Valkyrie play here out of Light. He's getting that starport. He will be throwing down the armory here very shortly. A couple more racks as well, getting into that bio with the Valkyries. As the number of Valkyries increases, this play becomes stronger and stronger. At about 3 to 4 Valkyries, they can just decimate everything in the air. Mutas become basically useless at that point, so there has to be a very quick transition from Soma the moment that he figures out that this is what's going on. And trust me, he has no idea at this point. He cannot see inside the space. All he sees is just a few Marines at the front. There could be more hiding up the ramp. A scan here, checking out the natural. He sees the third base as well, an evolution chamber on the way. That's not what someone wanted to have happen. He didn't want to reveal that evolution chamber and show that he was planning to go for Ultra as a follow-up to this 2-hatch Muta. That is 100% for the carapace upgrades. And when you're starting those carapace upgrades very early, it means that you want to go into an ultraless game. Now, we've got the extra ranks on the way. The first wave of Muta is coming in here. He's got to get in and actually find out that this is a Valkyrie play as soon as possible, so that he can start to make that transition, start to think about how to deal with this Valkyrie threat here. Killing off quite a few of these Marines. The Valkyrie is out now. It's going to take some damage from the Muta, but deals 2 big volleys to the full clump of Muta there, trying to pull away some of those, but Soma ends up eating the majority of that damage. He's going to get an Overlord here, a nice free Overlord hanging out over the natural. Still more Mutas being added on here by Soma, and he's reduced that Marine count by quite a lot. Some Scourge are coming in now, so he's gonna try to get connections on these Valkyrie and just try to slow down the amount of Valkyries that are on the field here. There's only 2 right now, so we can still take a fight in the air and be somewhat successful. Here comes the big group. Valkyries are running forward. Scourge are gonna try to dive, but pulling back there. I think that was a good trade by Light. Did quite a bit of damage to those Mutas, and Soma is in full retreat right now. If Soma picks off those 2 Valkyries, he can really slow down the push here. Just get rid of those units, then the Mutas can run free and deal a lot of damage to these Marines and potentially hold off this push. But as long as Light controls properly, as long as he keeps those Valkyries back, there's really not much that Soma can do to take a fight with this army, except for just hide behind his sunken colonies, try to get some lurkers up. That's about it. Lurkers are on the way. That's that transition that I was talking about earlier. 3 sunkens are here, but they're not finished just yet. Scourge coming in from the side, looking for a kill, not able to get it. Going to lose some more Overlords here. Looking for some damage on these reinforcing units. Trying to run up a ramp here. This is a bit scary for Light. Gonna run behind the sunken colonies and burrow a lurker. And that's going to be the end of the aggression in this location for Light. He cannot make his way through here. He's instead going to switch things up, try to get a tank out, it looks like. But Soma has maneuvered himself into a good position. Uh-oh, pretty good job by Light with the splits there. He doesn't manage to pick off any of the lurkers, though, and loses quite a few Marines. Does a lot of damage, but yeah, not able to pick off those lurkers. Now, luckily for Light, there weren't a bunch of Scourge in that area, in the area right there. He could have killed off all of those Valkyries. As it stands, though, he's just going to fly into the main base here, slow down that science facility a little bit, and draw the Valkyries over here in the corner. 4 Valkyries absolutely wrecks these Mutas. I think he's going to kill every single Scourge as well. Yes, he does. And that's it. That's just the critical mass that I was talking about earlier. 4 Valkyries annihilates everything airborne for the Zerg, and Soma's just going to have to go ahead and change his tech now. Of course, there's not going to be any more Valkyries built by Light this game, probably. That being said, though, I think that Soma does need to keep building Scourge here, otherwise he's going to lose so many Overlords. Light just running in, killing off Overlords here at the natural. He's got some vultures out on the map, so no tanks actually, just going for instead a bunch of vultures with mines to try and deal that damage, try to slow down the progression of lurkers across the map. Oh, gonna lose 2 of those Valkyries. No, 1 Valkyrie goes down. 1 more will fall. The last one, lonely Valkyrie, gonna try to deal some damage to these overlords, but does get picked off. So in the end, Light not really dealing a whole lot of damage with the Valkyries, just getting what he can done with them and not taking much damage at all from the early Mutalist of Soma. Now, that 3rd base is up from Soma. He does need a 4th, however, and I don't know where he's going to take that. If he wants to actually get into Ultra, that 4th is 100% necessary. Adding on a bunch of hatcheries here, he might have other plans. Perhaps going into a Hydralisk build with some Defilers might be a good idea. Coming down here with the Marine Medic. Taking that 3rd base. However, I believe this is a gasless base. Only some minerals there to be had. So, not really prepared here for the Ultralisk production. You really need 4 gases in order to get that rolling. So I think it's likely instead we're going to see the Defiler tech and a bunch of Hydras. Now a great move here from Light, bringing some D-Matrix Marines down. However, this is a really good amount of lurkers, and so many of the Marines are dying. These Lynx can just clean up the rest of what remains, I think. Coming after this Science Vessel, he's gonna get it. No target there by Light on those Scourge, so he kills the first Science Vessel. That is a huge kill. Only 2 Marines are left over, and this base up here in the top center has been denied. Nicely done by Soma. All over the map right now, dealing damage in every location. That D-Matrix Marine still being a little bit annoying, but it's not going to be able to deny this base. Eventually, Soma is going to be able to hold this location. Coming in with the Lynx, just going to clear up what's left. Another pickoff on another Science Vessel. 2 Science Vessels going down so far. Both of the first 2 Science Vessels have fallen. Light is doing his Light things, building into more and more bases. He's got mech coming right now. Big mech transition here by Light. Knows that he can't just bowl over his opponent right now with the Marine Medic. There's too much tech coming down from Soma right now. He's got that 4th base up and running. Light instead just going to try to out-expand his opponent, keep map control with these Vultures and Mines while building into a huge amount of tanks and Goliaths. Now, a big switch here by Soma into a lot of mutas is very problematic. He can kill off a good chunk of these mines here just from the air. Another Science Vessel goes down. Wow, Light not paying attention to his Science Vessels very carefully here. Almost getting another one there. Soma doing a great job with the Scourge, coming in from different angles, picking off Science Vessels over and over. There's the first Defiler coming out. Do we have Hydralisk, Mass Hydra on the way? Looks like not so far. Double expansion here from Soma. He's taking top left and bottom center. This is becoming a very epic game here. I'm not sure which way this is going to go. It's very even at this point. I think that Soma has a slight lead. That's not necessarily a victory here. He's got to fight with the huge mech army that's going to be produced on 4 bases here by Light. That's just non-negotiable at this point. Light will get a massive army out on the map, and Soma's going to have to find some way to deal with that, whether that be Queens, Hydras, and Defilers. I'm not really sure at this point. But so far, he's just running around, trying to get more bases. He's going to lose the base in the upper left-hand corner. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Not sure that's the right call here against what Light is doing. Putting out so many mines everywhere. Just getting into crazy mech army. Ultras generally don't do the best against that, but I understand the dilemma here for the Zerg player. What exactly do you want in this situation. Maybe mass queen, but it is very scary to start building queens at this point. You really need an army out to fight, and it takes a very long time for the energy on queens to build up. So so far he's maybe looking for some drops here. Okay, dropping some lings, a defiler as well. That can at least buy some time here, and he can deny the mining at this location for quite a while. That's actually a really good move, but he is losing his main base here, or his third base, fourth base area. So that mineral only expansion kind of going down. Some great connections on mines hit as well, and the defiler not really able to do much. There we go, ultras finally popping out, but there are mines already in position, dealing a lot of damage to the first few ultras as they pop out. There's a plague coming out as well. Tanks moving forward, 4 tanks with a bunch of mines in front of them as well. Soma gonna try to push forward through that. He already has +3 carapace as well. That is a really, really strong position with that +3 carapace. He's going to massacre these Marines. Every single Marine just gets eaten alive. But oh god, an eraser trick down here. There's so many drones. So many drones going down. 8 drones. 8 kills, 3 kills. Oh man, that is very painful. More painful, in fact, than what happened to Light here in this top center. Lost so many of those drones, but most of the SCVs here got away. The supply count is very, very similar. There's no anti-air right now for Light, so he's going to lose some tanks for free. Ultras are coming up, but taking a lot of damage from these mines. Oh, another big mine here. Oh, dealing a lot of damage there. Another science vessel goes down, but these mutas will be picked off. Good job with the mutas, just staying active here, killing off mines as he can, trying to deal damage to some of these vultures as well. There's no drones down in the bottom center, so still a 3-base economy here for Soma, and that's going to start to really hurt in a few more moments here. Especially if the first gas in the main base starts to run out. We're already at 18 minutes in. Goliaths are now finally being produced, and Light is speeding ahead in supply. 1,400 minerals in the bank for Soma, so he could really use a big swell of drones at this point to just saturate that 4th base, try to get a 5th up as well. Here we go, we've got some drones coming out here. More ultras have been produced as well. He's found this base in the upper left, just gonna go and quickly deny that now. Mita's flying in, just taking a look. Not able to do too much to this army. Soma absolutely cannot allow Light to secure this upper left. If Soma's just, or if Light cuts this map in half with his giant mech army, it's just going to be terrible news for Soma. I don't think that Soma could win in a position like that. Even if he manages to snag bottom right and even center right, Light will have enough resources to burn down the Zerg in the long run if he does manage to get the 2 bases in the upper left. So Soma's got to find a way to simultaneously secure bottom right and prevent Light from securing that upper left. It's a tall order, but he can do it if he utilizes drops correctly, and it uses a lot of mutas for that defense against all of the vultures heading towards the bottom right. Here comes those mutas now. Gonna go ahead and pick off some of these vultures. Definitely gonna clear out these mines as well. Here comes a big drop. Gonna drop on top of a lot of these tanks here, and has a Dark Storm as well. Nice, a second Dark Storm, bringing some mines into the middle of these tanks as well. Very good, cleaning out a ton of these tanks, and that was not an enormous commitment by Soma. had he just run in on top of those units, he would have lost a lot more. So utilizing drop very nicely there. The upper left corner is actually, there's a hatchery up there, so Soma trying to secure that base. That would be a miracle if he manages to keep that alive. I don't think it's going to happen. Light is spreading out now, trying to take the natural base at least to the upper left. We've got +2 done here on the Goliaths of Light, but they're just not strong enough to fight right yet. Here comes some Lings and Defilers being dropped here in the top left. He's going to be able to deal with a lot of these mech units, but Light just spreading out with the Vultures, keeping most of what he's got alive here in the top left. We need some more mutas coming up to actually clear out those last 2 Goliaths and all of the Vultures that are up in that location. Now just running forward here. Soma smelling blood right now. I think he just wants to try and break the back of Light here. Sensing that there's a little bit too much in that upper left. Big explosion there. So many tanks and ultras die at the same time. +3/+2 is done for Light now, so he is at maximum strength at the moment. His army is so strong, and he's taking upper left. Soma is desperately throwing everything he can towards these tanks in the center there, pulling in a lot of mines, killing off those tanks. Nicely done. A bunch of Vultures, though, have arrived with the additional mines and the DPS on those Lings. He might be able to hold this off. No, Ultras are making their way up here, finally able to get on this high ground. A few mutas just picking away slowly at those last remaining tanks there. And this Ultra has made his way into the mineral line, albeit he only has 31 HP. If there was a surround from the SCVs right now, I think he could just easily kill that Ultra. It deals you deal at least 1 damage, even if you have only 5 attack. There's no way to deal half damage or something like that. You will definitely deal 1 damage, so big Ultra kill there. Tanks just blasting those Ultras away. Another drop here into the upper left. Some Lurkers going to make their way up here and deny a lot of these SCVs. So a good move here by Soma. Very economic, very efficient to just make Light's life really annoying right now. And down towards the bottom right of the map, Soma's secured both those bases for now. He has those bases up. He's mining from those locations. Can he hold on to that? And can he stop Light here? Those are the big questions right now. If he holds on to that location, but Light manages to snag upper left, I still think that Light is in a lead. Light's coming up. He's going to clear these Lurkers from the upper left, re-securing that area, and he's looking pretty good in that spot now. Putting down a lot of mines can deny tons of drops as they come through. Mines do not deal damage to buildings, so the turrets will be alright as long as he just puts a ton of mines around there. A lot of the dropping units will be annihilated immediately, and the anti-air will still be kept in place. There's a dropship heading down towards the bottom right. Not sure what that has or what's in there at the moment. More drops coming through from Soma as well. He's trying to get in on the top center, or the top left, excuse me. Once again, trying to deal some damage there. Big drop here in the bottom right of Soma. These Vultures going to deal a lot of damage here. 3 Vultures can rip apart this mineral lane so incredibly quick, and it doesn't look like Soma's paying attention. Soma not watching here. He's paying attention over there in the center left, and he's losing so many drones. This is insane. Crazy amount of losses there. Soma was looking to be in a relatively decent position, somewhere where he had a real fighting chance, but now with those kills, Light is looking great here. Finally going to clear out these Vultures, but the damage has been done. More kills over here at this area as well. This is incredibly painful for Soma. I don't think that his ultras can get back there. 6 kills on that vulture. More drops coming through. Another vulture just crushing these drones as they pop out. Some more drops here by Soma. This is incredibly APM. It consumes an insane amount of APM to be able to deal these drops. 13 kills! 14 kills! Oh my goodness. Those vultures coming in so clutch here in the late game as the map gets split apart. I think that with this move, Light should be able to unsiege and try to come across the map here while all of the drones are being reproduced here by Soma. I don't think he can really field a great army at this point. He doesn't have the income. He's trying to snag the center right, but like I said before, Light with the top left, he's fine. He doesn't need any more bases here, literally for the rest of the game, and he's preventing the base from coming down in the center right, so he's feeling really good right now. Vulture will be finally picked off there with 3 kills. Some mutas coming through, gonna deal damage to these Goliaths, but too strong. 3-3 Goliaths, very, very hard to deal any damage to that. And some mines do go off in the middle of this mech army, but not enough to actually pick off the entirety of that mech army. Some great pulling back from Light, just dealing as much damage as he can with the mines and the tanks. Looks like he's going to get a huge amount of damage with this drop, plus the eraser trick. There's no burrow here. He's trying to get his drones up into some of these overlords, but massive kill. 14 kill on that science vessel, 8 kills on the other. The economy has once again been ravaged. Soma has hardly anything left, just running into the meat grinder here against all of these unsieged tanks, Goliaths, and vultures. Not a winning strategy. 70 supply down now. Soma is fighting for his life here, trying to stay alive just a little bit longer, trying to secure another base, try to get this mining going, but Light is slowly closing the door on Soma's chances here in this game. More drops coming through here from Soma into the natural here of the upper left. But it seems like there's nothing in there. A few drones here laying idle. More drones being produced. Soma trying to reinvigorate his economy here, but he's on the same number of bases as his Terran opponent. This dropship continuing to just carry the game at the moment. That dropship has done an incredible amount of damage throughout here. Nice mines. Wow, dealing so much damage, killing off a ton of Lings and a couple of those ultras as well. Gotta say, Light's mech army and his mech playstyle is just looking incredibly strong here. I wonder if he'll bring this out against other Zerg players here today as well, because I think he's going to take out Soma right here, right now. We might end up getting that chance. Here comes some more drops, trying his best here. Soma really hanging on with his fingernails at the moment, trying to drop on top of these tanks, bringing out the Ling and Ultra, jumping on top of that. He will be able to clear this army, I think, but the follow-up army is really the problem here. There's a wave of blue headed south at the moment. So many vultures being produced, so many tanks coming forward right now, that I think this is going to be it. This is going to be the end, guys. Drones are going down in the natural. Four erasers here. The speed that these drones will be killed off is insane. Watch this, guys. 4 erasers here. Boom. All of the drones get killed off. That's going to be it. GG will have to be called now. Soma, with a few units left over here at the top left, he's doing his best, but there's just no hope here. And the eraser trick has run out. Not going to be able to kill off those drones, but it doesn't really matter. Only 60. Oh, here's another irradiate there. 18 kills on this science vessel. That is ridiculous. GG finally gets called. Soma taps out, and Light ends his streak. Well, quite the game there. That last one was pretty ridiculous near the end. I think both players have shown us a really wide range of builds, stepping outside of their kind of known patterns to play in a completely different style. But Light has come out ahead, and now he's got to go up against Snow, who is probably even a bigger challenge in TVP than Soma was previously. Soma, he did such a good job. He was really using drops to a very efficient and prolific degree. Like he was using drops like crazy there and doing it very, very well. But the problem with using drop as Zerg is it takes so much APM to get it done, and Light really did a great job of exploiting that fact by just dropping off those vultures, doing run-bys, that kind of stuff. And when you're busy loading up all your overlords, sending them in different locations, dropping, and also macroing at the same time, there's just no time to be checking the minimap constantly, making sure that you're not getting harassed by those vultures. So a great idea from Light, a great response to what he was seeing from his opponent. Now he's starting off here in the bottom right hand corner of Fighting Spirit. I think this actually happened to Royal last time too. At least it's a better position here than Royal had in last week of KCM. If I remember correctly, last week of KCM, Royal did so well versus every other player, and then got to Snow and had a match against him on Fighting Spirit in the worst possible positions, where it was the easiest for Snow to deny that third base. Now it's not going to be quite as easy for Snow to do that. We have Light down here in the bottom right. He'll be able to expand down to the bottom center, which is quite far and difficult for Snow to harass, but this still is Fighting Spirit. It's going to be a tough game. Now Snow is coming up here on the ramp, taking a look around. He's got that single zealot. Second zealot is on the way as well, but a vulture is coming out now. Ooh, gonna lose the first Marine. That's a little bit painful for Light. He could have absolutely ran that Marine away from the zealot, kept that alive, and then maintained those 4 Marines and that very strong ability to just kill that zealot. Oh, he's gonna lose another. Okay, just barely keeping that SCV alive. I thought that was going to go down. 2 probes coming here to the natural. The first probe going to throw down the Nexus. The second probe going to chase that SCV, and a Dragoon is now here in the front. This command center doesn't have much of a chance of going down unless, yeah, these Marines and Vultures actually come all the way out to fight, and they will come out to do battle with this first Dragoon. Now, as the second Dragoon arrives, this is going to get really scary, so he's got to finish this bunker here, and I think it'll be just barely in time so that he can jump inside that bunker and actually keep himself alive. There we go. Keeps himself alive here. stabilizing for a little bit longer. Snow right up in his face, though, from the very beginning. He's going to be throwing down his own Nexus and finishing up that range here pretty quickly so that he can damage that bunker. Back at home, Light is getting an engineering bay. Ooh, the first tank running out in the front does take a shot, but will be repaired here. Not a problem. Got to be careful with that first tank, though. Could be very dangerous. Engineering bay on the way. Ooh, the Vulture going to get finished off. Tries to make a run by there. Would have been very nice to have that Vulture out on the map. It gives a bit of a wild card if you do have that out. Oh my goodness, all these probes getting stuck in that corner. Super annoying. What are they doing? Going around the gateway, then back, and then finally forward to go and mine. Super strange. This map, a very old one, Fighting Spirit, and it does have quite a few glitches. We've got no Vultures out on the map, but at least we are safe back at home. 2 tanks here, the second tank on that high ground. And we're going to get a siege up here with the turret behind. There's nothing that can break Light at this point. So we'll have to move to the next phase of the game. Luckily, though, Snow does have Light backed into a corner here. There's really nowhere he can go, even putting a Dragoon on the third base location. He's going to, I think, hold position that on the ramp at the third so that no Vultures can slip around the bottom side and into the map. And that means that Snow is going to be very nice and safe here. He can just sit, build Nexuses, build some cannons, get a bunch of gateways, and decide on whatever tech he feels is proper for this situation. Get ready for Light to move out, and then do whatever it is he's going to do here, whether that be dive onto the third base and prevent that from going down, or alternatively go into a giant macro game, snaking up to the top left-hand part of the map. Light being very careful here. He's got some Goliaths coming out. He also has a turret there under the engineering bay, making sure that any Reaver that might be flying in that area is going to be spotted and dealt damage before it gets into a good position. Here comes the tanks. 3 tanks moving out. That is enough to one-shot a Dragoon. That is just to get just out of range there. Only 1 tank shot goes down on that Dragoon, so it's going to be safe for now. Light moving out, though, taking a little space for himself. But the shuttle is on its way down now, and it should have a Reaver in there shortly. Uh-oh, misrally here from the veteran player Snow. Losing 2 Dragoons. Very, very uncharacteristic for this Protoss behemoth. Tends to be one of the best, if not the best, Protoss versus Terran player in the world. Good pick off there on the Vulture, but equally good pick off on that probe in the center right. Making sure that another base can't go down in that location, at least for a little bit here. Although that doesn't seem to be the plan for Snow. Is sticking on 3 bases, saturating, and getting into his Reaver tech here. I think he is looking for any signs that Light wants to take that third base here a little bit too early. Can look for an opportunity to pounce on that. If he delays and slows down that third base take, then Snow will simply add on more Nexus at the top left-hand corner, stay ahead of his opponent, and grow exponentially here. Looks like the third command center is being built by Light. That's down in the bottom left-hand corner of his base. Be floating that out momentarily. See where the positioning of Snow's army is going to be. Is he going to loop around to the bottom center and actually get in the way of that? third base take, or will he stay back defensively and look for drop opportunities into the main and natural? Ooh, it looks like this dropship headed across the map is going to be spotted by the observer. A few vultures will be making it here into the main. There is one cannon there, however, so not going to deal a ton of damage, but we'll get quite a few probes. Looks like about 6 or 7 are going to go down here. Some pretty good micro by Light to get the maximum value possible with those vultures, and that was a pretty decent amount of damage. Here we are with Snow now. The positioning, very clear what the intention is here. He does not want to allow Light to take that third base, setting down his Reavers here on that low ground. He's got the Dragoons in position. He's got more units over to the left-hand side there, and an observer just in case his opponent decides to go for a direct counterattack across the map. Snow will see that immediately and send his Reavers and units back to deal with such an attack. Now, his two Reavers in a bit of a precarious position here. Takes a tank shot, trying to get a couple of hits with this Reaver. Only 2 hits to kill a tank if the tank is in siege mode. Here we go. No shot there. Light doing a good job of slowly moving forward here, leapfrogging his tanks down towards that third base, not extending too far so that the Reaver shots can connect. The Dragoons have been displaced, and it looks like Snow is going to back away. He has his 4th base up. He's satisfied, it appears, with the slowness of the third base of Light. He's fine with Light grabbing a third base now, I think, because he is so far ahead on bases at this point. Just going to allow that to happen. Maybe he's going to deal a little bit of damage here with some of these Zealots, but this looks like a doomed tank here, as all the Zealots do get cleaned up. These Dragoons will be trapped and killed as well. There we go, 2 shots from these Reavers, managing to pick off one of those tanks, but the Reavers going down here. One last Reaver shot. That last Reaver scarab killing 3 more vultures, getting some good value out of that, but pushed away now. Light taking the third base. This is a great timing here. 12 minutes 30 seconds. He is securing that third, getting into his +3 attack now. +1 armor should be on the way as well, but Snow, masterful delay tactics there while taking the 4th and 5th base. I love it. Totally different game from what we saw last week versus Royal, but this is the other way to play the Fighting Spirit match. The Fighting Spirit map, excuse me. You can either try to dive on that third base as the Terran player is trying to take it, or you just expand and expand and expand and just delay. Eventually you have so much of the map, it's very difficult for Light to push out of this third of the map, this quadrant, or this 4th of the map, excuse me, the quadrant of the map, the bottom right-hand quadrant. How do you secure another base here? Which is the natural 4th base for Light? I guess it's going to have to be as he pushes up towards the natural of Snow. He will have to take that center right base that's behind the push as he's going across the map. Will leave him kind of open to counterattacks and drops down in the bottom center, but it is what it is. You have to leave some weakness in your defense no matter what. Not really a choice. We haven't seen a whole lot of probe damage thus far from Light. He has done a little bit in the main base, but for the most part, Snow doing a really good job of keeping his probes alive, not allowing vultures to run around and just pick off probes that are crossing the map or anything like that. He's done a great job of that. Another vulture gets in over here, but only going to get about 2 kills and then will be cleaned up. That dropship has been denied. We've got 180 supply now for both players, and Light appears to be ready to move out. This is a very difficult position to move out of, though. Very tight location, a great storm there on the front tanks. Everything going to back away immediately after those storms go down, and the zealots begin to get cleared out. We can see a little bit more supply lost by Snow, but he's going to replace that supply much quicker, and Light has made no ground from that small push forward. He's still on his side of the bridge, and that's the way that Snow likes it. He's going to try to keep him there as long as possible as he moves around the map, taking additional bases down in the center left and the bottom left there. An attempt of a storm, not able to get it though. A very quick snipe with those vultures and the tanks. Nice targeting there by Light, and he moves slowly and surely forward once again, crossing this bridge now and building his turrets. He's setting up a position here from which he can actually fight the rest of this army. Looks like some High Templars did get sniped down there. That's bad news for Snow, who's going to rely on those High Templars to take good fights. Another great snipe by Light there. Here comes one more storm. Does get that off on some of these vultures, but not the greatest connection. Running forward here, he has another storm onto that D-Matrix tank. Not the best value out of these Templars thus far, and getting shoved back. Snow is taking some rough fights here, but he's still keeping his Terran opponent back. Now gaining a bit of a supply lead here, 186 to 173. A real fist fight between these two legends in the middle of the map, just trading blows, attempting to push each other out of the way. Looks like a tank drop, just able to pick off that probe. Pretty good move from Light to deny that base for a little bit longer. 2 science vessels are here. Will he be able to get an EMP? Nice snipe on that Templar. Another storm, but only killing off a couple of vultures. Best he can do at the moment. There's another shuttle with some more High Templars going to push towards these tanks. Only tanks left over here, and they're all unsieged. So a bunch of zealots inside of a shuttle plus some storms could be really good here. No, only one more storm, a nice D-Matrix to counter. And Snow's economy is really rolling right now. He's got a ton of money. He's got a lot of supply. But can he take a good fight here? It's very difficult without great spells like that stasis, like the recall, to kind of make up that value. These units are very strong from the Terran side, and just pure gateway units are not going to really do the trick against a massive line of tanks. Maybe if he can get down here when the tanks are out of position. See, we've only got 2 tanks at this location. Maybe he can get through here, cancel this command center, maybe kill off some of these SCVs as well. Big line of SCVs moving up there, but he uses the storms for the tanks instead, and now going to get down here into this location, try to hold back the tank count with these constant and continuous storms, while just dealing with this command center. He think he gets this command center as well. Very nice. Picking off the command center is really big for Snow. Light only has a single mining base at this point, mining minerals. That is the 6 o'clock base. Both his main and natural have mined out, so that's very painful to be losing this command center at this point in the game. Another command center is going up just north of the screen here, and all of these Dragoons are going to get picked off. The army from Light is undeniably strong, but he's losing supply rapidly. Only 150 supply in the bank at the the moment. Getting off some good mines here on some of these zealots, softening up this army. Very nice mine drag right into the bulk of the army of Snow there. Another run around by Snow. However, it's been spotted by a mine. I think that Light will be in position to deal with this run around. And Snow is going to attempt that again. Look at that. He's coming down from this center left base, but so many tanks here, so many storms. Oh man, 2 storms going down on these tanks, but D-Matrix really making it rough. Good storm on the SCVs. Huge kills here. Every SCV going down. 15 kill on that High Templar. Beautiful job by Snow, just completely stuffing that base stake. All of those SCVs went down there, so despite having a command center now in the area, there's really nothing for him to mine with except some SCVs transferred from his 6 o'clock base. He is hurting on supply at the moment, but his army supply is still relatively high, I would say. So he's going to push towards the top left-hand corner, try to take out some nexuses here, see if he can make this into a scrappy game. However, I think that Snow will just go around this. He just needs to pick off tanks little by little and keep denying this mining down here at the bottom left. As long as he makes it through here and stops that mining in the bottom left, he should be fine. He's got a group of Dragoons and Zealots coming along down to the bottom left. He's going to run right by this army and get in on that base. Oh, an Archon coming down from that high ground. That was kind of hidden back there. Another command center coming up, but the SCVs do have to retreat. One base was taken out, but the base on high ground still remains. So I think... Oh, Shuttle High Templar. Big storms from the high ground. Oh, man, those are too huge. Oh, and they keep going. It just doesn't stop. So many tanks getting picked off there. Another storm. Oh my god, more and more storms just coming down continuously there. Finally does lose that shuttle, but still a Templar left over. He could get even another storm here. These tanks are so low. So many of them have been picked off. We're down to just 100 supply for Light. And I think the end is near here. Another shuttle going down. Light will secure bottom left, but for how long? Snow is bringing up his reinforcements, and there are plenty of gaps in the defense here for Light that Snow can exploit. He's got to bring the entire bulk of his army into fighting position here, otherwise he's just going to get completely smashed. If he's got tanks anywhere else on the map, they have to be sent to this location. Here is the final battle. Snow running forward. A lot of, even the Marines have been pulled here, so you know that he's got every single fighting unit in the game at this location. GG. Light taps out, and Snow takes a victory. Man, those storms were disturbingly good. So many storms from that high ground at the bottom left-hand corner. That was amazing. And our final Protoss player for this week of KCM is still hanging in there, keeping the dream alive for the Protoss race. Let's see what happens in that next game. It's going to be either Queen or 815. Let's jump right into it. All right, we're drawing closer to the end of this week of the KCM. Our underdog here for the Zerg, 815. Definitely not one of our top tier players, but he is in the mix, similar to Scan and Tyson. Looking to make a name for himself, would definitely put himself on the map. Should he be able to take down Snow here in this week, eliminate the Protoss players, that would be pretty huge for his reputation, for his confidence. Starting out here with a 12 hatch, trying to block this probe from doing any shenanigans. Looks like he will be successful in that. No cannons or pylons going to go down behind the natural mineral patches. That's good. 815 doesn't want to deal with any of that shit, so he's going to keep on top of this probe continuously here, following it around, making sure that it doesn't drop a pylon anywhere that it shouldn't. Got that Nexus on the way. We've got the gas coming down before Gateway. Interesting. Not sure I'm familiar with this build. Generally, you want to get the Gateway out as quickly as possible. He's really holding off on his cannon for quite a long time. I think that the spawning pool should be down by now. And finally, a cannon does start here on the side of Snow, but he delayed that building very heavily, and the Gateway will begin as well. I'm not sure about the thought process here on the side of Snow. It feels a little strange to me that he would get that gas so early, considering that, you know, there's not really much to spend it on besides maybe +1 upgrade. Looks like that is going to be the plan here. You know, you still have to build a cybernetics core, and then you can start your Stargate, and that's kind of the first real gas unit that you want to get here as the Protoss player in PvZ. So definitely just gonna get that really early +1 upgrade. I'm not sure how this build will pan out here. Maybe he's gonna be going for an early attack with pure Zealot. I think we may end up seeing a super quick Citadel here, maybe a Dragoon as well, just to push away these Overlords, or at least this Overlord that's flying around near the inside of the base, and then throw down 2 or 3 more gateways and just go for a wild Zealot +1 timing attack. If it's anything other than that, I would be very surprised here. Got the first Zealot wandering across the map. He knows where majority of the Lings are right now, so he feels safe to send this Zealot towards the 3rd base. We'll see if he can get anything done with that. But I find it unlikely. A Spire is coming up now from 815. He's got the layer already finished up here, dealing some damage to these drones. Whoa, that was very close. Should have been able to get that drone. It looked like 815 wasn't paying attention there at the beginning when the Zealot was first attacking that, but he got on top of that there. Ooh, very good movement here from 815, not losing a single Ling. Picking off that Zealot, doing a great job of maneuvering those Lings in and out of that corner, getting the surround, and also pulling back the injured units there. A Stargate is down, so it's not going to be that super quick Citadel like what we saw from Tyson earlier. Instead, it's just going to be a later Stargate and the super early +1. We'll see where that takes him. Another forge, so double upgrade Protoss here this game. That's going to slow down the early game here from Snow. He's going to try to deal some damage with this Corsair and find out what's going on the side of 815, but 815 is growing very quickly. He doesn't have any evolution chambers down just yet, so he's going to fall behind heavily on upgrades. But what he is lacking in terms of upgrades, he's going to make up for in terms of just the pure mass of units that will be available to him. That 5th hatch is coming up. A 6th hatch should be on the way here pretty soon. He's got his Hydralisk being pumped out here just a little by little, mostly focusing on droning at the moment. Keeping those Overlords alive is essential as well. All the Hydras just chilling back here, either at the 3rd or the natural. There's the 6th hatchery. The building positioning here is interesting. Has some good locations to tuck Hydras away and keep them safe from the Zealots. A Dark Templar coming out now looking for potentially a 4th base that might be getting taken here by A15. The Overlord's speed is finished now, so it should be easier to deal with this DT. Good to see that he managed to get that upgrade out here. Meanwhile, Snow, no robotics facility just yet, no 3rd base either. Going up to, wow, 8 gateways, is that? 8 gateways for Snow. With the double upgrades coming, he should be moving out here, I would imagine, with a +2/+1 timing. +1 is done, +2 is on the way right now, and the +1 upgrade for armor in the main base being researched as well. The Spire is pretty darn late here by 815, but he's managed to stave off the early Corsair here very well. It's funny, only a single Corsair being made this game so far. Both players really skimping on their air. Whereas usually we end up seeing a lot of air-to-air battles. We see Scourge, we see Corsair. This game, things have evolved in a very different direction. We've got 2 massive ground armies that are going to clash here relatively soon, I think. 3 Templars are out. And it looks like the Zealots will be pushed back. Taking some trades with the Lings, you can see already 2 upgrade advantage for Snow. That's going to only become more severe here as the +2 attack upgrade finishes up here very shortly. And I haven't seen an Evo chamber for the Zerg just yet. That 4th base is about to come down. 815 gonna opt to take that in the top center, the farthest location from the Protoss player that there is on the map remaining. So Muta's now popping out. 815 looks like he wants to finesse his way to a victory in this one. Sending in a group of Mutas to try to pick off a couple of High Templars and then overwhelming with his high number of Hydra, just try to crush the army of what's left for Snow, but Snow's not gonna take any fights just yet. High Templars are going down in this natural. Wow, picking off the High Templar here is huge. All 4 go down. All of the Templar have died. All of the Mutas have died as well, but now it looks like 815 is ready to take a fight here. He wants to push in and press the advantage, try to take out this Forge and deny the +2. Can he actually get it? This is huge. He gets the Forge. I don't think +1 finished. The 4th base of 815 has been cancelled, but can Snow hold on here? There's so many Hydras coming up right now. They're really clumping on this low ground location just north of the screen here. So many Hydras are not really fighting, and back at home, the Zealots are running wild in the main and natural of 815. I think a poorly executed attack here into the natural is going to cost 815 dearly. These Hydras just bunching up so terribly on these eggs, not able to get in here, not able to deal their damage, and not able to break into the Protoss natural. Meanwhile, more Hydras getting picked off here by these Zealots. Finally, I think the Hydras will finish them off, but that was painful to watch. Okay, +2 did finish for Snow. It must have been incredibly close, that +2, +1. +1 upgrade is also done for 815. Maybe that was done earlier. Hold on a second. I think that might have been done earlier, and he was going for the +3 attack upgrade. The timing, it just feels a little bit too late for that +2 to be denied. And of course it is finished, so it was either a really close shave or he just denied the +3 upgrade being finished. More lurkers are coming down. I really thought that 815 was going to go for a drop actually into the main once he picked off those Templar. And there wasn't really much in the main to defend. There weren't too many Corsairs either. I thought that he was going to load up there and just drop in the main and stop or get a good position on top of the ramp for fighting against all of those Dragoons and Zealots, but instead he attacked into the natural, and it really didn't go well for him. I don't think this will go well for him either, running up here towards that third base, trying to mount this ramp here, but his lurkers die, and a flank of Hydras is going to do pretty well fighting back against these Dragoons here in the rear, but still getting eaten up. There's some more Templar coming down. Can Snow hold on? I think he should be fine here. Beautiful storm on both groups of Hydras, but now what is left in terms of storm? I think he's got energy for maybe one, maybe two more storms to go down here. Picks off an Observer, it looks like, and two Overlords fall. But 815, without a fourth base, is in a dire situation here. He has to prevent this third from going down. There's no backup plan here for 815. Lose that Overlord. Another great storm on some of those Hydras, and the third base is getting saturated now. All of those probes making their way down to the third base. 815 trying to get in here and take a fight from multiple angles. However, I think that he sent too much down here to the bottom center. Should be sending more across that high bridge, that wide bridge instead. Maybe if he can come in here and pick off both of the Observers and drop his lurkers in a good position, he might have a chance to break through here. But as it stands, I don't think with the Observers alive, I don't think he can get through here. Even if the Observers die, we still have a lot of storms that can be used to deal damage to those lurkers, even if they can't be seen. Now, coming forward, there's only one lurker here. Two more do hatch. A third gonna hatch out as well and spread for the burrow, but too many Zealots, too many Dragoons as well, and these heavy Archons just soaking up the damage. Doing a great job of pushing everything back, and this attack has been denied. Where is 815's backup plan? It does not exist. He's just going to mass up once again and go for another fight here, though he is nearly 60 supply behind, and Snow is just moving out on the map, ready to take these fights. Yeah, this is going to be it, guys. This will have to be GG. A counterattack coming through, but Snow is all over. He knows that the plan of 815 is just to deny this base. That's all he has to do, is keep that base alive and he will be fine. He honestly doesn't need to move out on the map at all at this point. Just simply scan to make sure there's no fourth base, and he will take that victory. GG is called. 815 taps out, and Snow takes another victory. Well, not really a surprise that Snow takes down 815 there. I think he put up a reasonable fight. Now we're on to our next map. This is Forte, or Fort. I'm not sure how you want me to say it. When the E, with the E there at the end, I'm gonna have to say Forte. This is a very old map. This tile set is taking me way back, guys. This is like a tile set that was really, or the, not the tile set, but the high ground. If it is even a high ground, I'm not sure if that is. I think it is. but it hasn't been used for a very long time, I feel like, because it doesn't really lend itself to easy building, positioning, placement. So much of that area around the edge is just not buildable. It's just very, very annoying, and the main base here is extremely small. This is not a map I have a lot of experience with, and I think playing online in 1v1, I'm not sure if I've ever played a game on this map, but some of you guys are nostalgic for it from the comments that I've seen from the previous video. Now, we do have Snow versus Royal. This is the rematch, really, from the previous week of KCM. We saw before Royal on a kill streak had was it 5 kills? I think he had 5 kills before getting stomped out by Snow, and now the roles are kind of reversed here. Snow on with 2 kills coming up against Royal. We'll see if Royal can return the favor and end Snow's winning streak here. Either way, it's going to be an epic match, I think. We've got Royal with the building positioning there, throwing down his barracks and supply depot near that front wall where the mineral patches reach out towards each other and create a small gap that can be pretty defensible. I think that we'll see Royal throw down a bunker in that gap right away, get some Marines into that location so he can eventually take his natural base. Snow just going to come out and take his base right away here. No bunker for Royal. He's just going to rely on a bit of micro here. Bit of a dangerous play, because as these Marines start to die, the DPS will lower drastically. And he's going to start to lose these Marines pretty quick. Here we go. Another Marine does go down. Dragoon with only 8 HP will get taken out, but he's managed to kill off 4 Marines there. So 4 Marines go down. Royal's going to have to reproduce a few of those. I'm not sure if that was a efficient trade or not. Feels a little iffy for Snow to kill off those Marines, to trade a Dragoon for that, but he decided to go that route and find that interesting. I guess he did get a scout on the command center as well, so he knows a little bit extra information that he otherwise shouldn't have had. A robotics facility is coming down now. We're going to see some Snow Reavers this game, I'm nearly 100% sure. Royal getting his starport out, so a direct counter here to the pretty practical idea that Snow is just going to go for a bunch of Reavers and shuttles pretty much no matter what. Might as well get out your Wraith in the early games, track down that shuttle and don't allow it to become that nuisance. He's adding on the control tower. This might be a drop. One element of this map that makes it a little bit ridiculous is that you can just drop here, right on here, on those 2 ledges, and hit this Nexus. Of course, if there is a Reaver out, that makes it a lot more difficult. You can just bring the Reaver up and drop the Dragoons and Zealots and Reavers on top of that area. It'll really help to keep you alive. He's even bringing some Dragoons up here immediately. Gonna start to deal some damage to these SCVs. That's hilarious. Kind of reversing the roles here a little bit, but I guess that Royal can just slowly move forward, siege up tanks, and then bring tanks up onto the high ground once those Dragoons have been cleared. However, these scrappy situations, I think this favors Protoss pretty heavily. He's going to try to drop out here, but he's going to lose his dropship. Ooh, that is really painful, and he's going to go after the siege tank as well. Can he actually pick off the siege tank? Oh, okay, the siege tank does not go down. However, the shuttle is coming forward. We'll be able to drop another Zealot and Dragoon here, or 2 Dragoons, excuse me on this high ground. And he can finish off these Marines in good time and resume attacking this mineral line. Pretty good move so far from Snow. Can't take too much damage on this tank. There we go, finally getting that siege up. Gonna bring the eBay over here to give a bit more vision. However, I'm feeling scared for Royal right now. If Snow continues to finesse his way in this game, just keep using his dropships, keep using his shuttles and reavers to lower this tank count, I think that Royal will probably crumble here. Really nice drop. Perfect drop here. The Reaver just going to town, killing a ton of tanks and SCVs. Ooh, oh my goodness. Ton of Dragoons just running by here, going after the siege tank. He does have one Wraith. That Wraith managed to pick off the Reaver that was there. Good surround here with the SCVs. Nice job. Tickling that Dragoon to death. However, he loses his eBay. And without that eBay, things become really, really challenging here for Royal. He's not able to build any more of those turrets, and that means that he's not going to be able to defend against these Reavers and shuttles anymore. I think that once Snow goes back and deals or gets another Reaver here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So the tank does pop out. We still do have a Wraith, so he has some recourse. Some recourse against this shuttle, but he's got to keep that alive. Another juke running past, going after that tank. Goodbye, all SCVs. Nice shot with the Reaver. Holy crap, 8 kills on that Reaver. 7 of them are SCVs. Huge damage by Snow. Just keeping this pressure on. This is such a scary situation as a Terran dealing with someone like Snow on such a weird map. He's just able to take advantage of every opportunity here. All of the weirdness of the map just falls on the Terran in terms of defense. They have to figure out a way to defend properly, otherwise they will just end up losing. Another tank does go down. This Reaver is just going to rip this Terran player to pieces. 12 kill Reaver, 13 kill Reaver. Some of these SCVs are getting this round, but with the Reaver coming down, this is going to be it, guys. Big shot with the Reaver. 18 kill Reaver, and the Wraith is going to finish off this Reaver eventually, but not before it lands 22 kills. GG is called and Royal taps out. What a wild aggro game out of Snow. This is where he really does shine, shows his true colors, and just goes balls to the wall with the Reaver drops, the Dragoon drops. No one is better at that than him. And again, this isn't a map that's been completely figured out by the Terrans in the latest meta of Starcraft Broodwar, so there's plenty of holes, there's plenty of areas that a Protoss with the skill of Snow can exploit, weaknesses in the defense that can be taken advantage of. A great game there. Unfortunately, Royal dies to Snow once again. He's got to be banging his head a little bit. 2 weeks in a row getting eliminated by this guy. We've got one last game. It's going to be game number 8, Snow versus Queen. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, the final game of our 4th week of Season 4 of KCM. Give it up for Snow and Queen. Queen down here in the bottom left-hand corner, Snow in the top right. As we're getting started in this game, just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to hit the alert bell as well. And if you don't mind, try to share the video, guys. Get the word out there. We're only at 300 subscribers so far. Not that I'm complaining, but would like to see that number improve. And keep spreading the love of Broodwar, man. Keep it going, man. It's been a long time. This game is very, very old, but I think it's still got a lot of years left in it. If you feel the same way, then make sure to support it in every way that you can. It's like a very quick Nexus coming out of Snow here, just right after that gateway, so not feeling the pressure that Queen is going to bring here. Knowing that he's gone for that 12 hatch, he's going to try and throw down the 3rd hatch. No! Denied. Another drone going to come down here. 2nd denial there. 3rd denial there, and the Zealot is about to arrive. This is becoming really, really bad for Queen. This is never going to go down now that Zealot can prevent the hatchery from landing for all time. Never going to happen. Just shoving that back and away once again. Oh god, Queen. This is not looking good for him right now. He's producing a bunch more lings. He's produced a bunch of lings. Now he's going to get this drone. Oh man, that was getting really, really scary there. Not able to get that 3rd base started for quite a long time. It hurts so, so badly as a Zerg player. He does finally get that other drone into position and snags that hatch, but I'm not feeling this position for Queen right now. He's looking for the Zealot. Zealot has evacuated, heading back across the map. He's done his job, getting out there very early to deal that harassment. And now Queen with the 3rd base coming up. The lair is on the way as well. He's going to try and play this out in a normal fashion. We'll see if Snow has other plans here. All the lings have been brought back. Going to finish off this probe, but the probe does manage to slip through and will spot the lair. He sees the lair at the natural, so everything has been revealed here. Not going to be able to pull the wool over Snow's eyes today. That lair coming down. Snow will be prepared for it. Stargate coming up now. No surprises here. Everything going in a pretty normal direction from that weird opener. Pro being pushed away once again. Still no speed on these links, so it's going to take a bit of time to track down that probe. Still going to keep that alive as long as possible here in the front of the natural. And even runs back away again. Just creating some more space for himself, able to keep that alive for an incredibly long time. The hallmark of any great Protoss player, the ability to keep that probe alive for an insane amount of time. There is the speed upgrade now finishing here for Queen, so he will clean up that probe. But that was a crazy long time. It took an immense amount of time to push that away. Now, the first Overlord of Queen has scurried back down the map towards the bottom right-hand corner. He's trying to keep that alive, trying to keep that hidden from Snow. He doesn't have that Spire done just yet, so as long as the Spire finishes up here before this Corsair starts attacking, yeah, the Spire just finishing up now. I think that he should be able to keep this Overlord alive and not take a single loss on the Overlords there. Ooh, another Stargate coming up. That is pretty rough. Oof. Loses the Overlord as well. Nothing really going in the favor of Queen thus far. Nothing really going right here. Ooh, Hydra Den. Okay, he does spot that. Another Overlord going to go down in the bottom right. The first couple of Scourge are out, but not in time. And my prediction was completely wrong. He ends up losing 2 Overlords for those Corsairs. Or to those Corsairs, excuse me. Going through the entire English language here. Nice. Very, very nice pick up there. The first Corsair going down, or excuse me, the second Corsair going down after picking off that second Overlord. And Mutalisk out on the field, just gonna slaughter these few Zealots. They do get that speed upgrade though, just in the nick of time. We'll be able to run back home before they end up getting picked off. Okay, losing only one Zealot, so not the worst thing in the world for Snow. Now he knows mutas have been produced. He's going to continue his production, double starport production here. And Queen will have to switch over into Hydralisk very, very quickly now. I'm not sure if Queen is fully aware yet that there is two starport at the moment in the base of Snow. That would be good to know. Just for the fact that he would realize the plan here of Snow is to just crush the air army, deliver a brutal killing blow to these overlords, to the supply of Queen. Look at this. The supply is just going to evaporate here. Down to just 71 supply. 71 of 45. 71 of 37 now. Losing just about every overlord he has, but all of the zealots have been picked off, and quite a few of the probes are going down here at the natural, so a pretty okay trade, I guess, from Queen. I would still say that that went in the favor of Snow, but at least he got something back here. These mutas are definitely going to end up dying. Well, at least a couple of them are. And now the Mutalisk threat has been eliminated. Not sure how many drones went down during that fight, but the majority of the zealots did die. A lot of Hydras went down as well, and almost every single overlord was lost, so quite a bit of time here to replace all those overlords. Now Queen is back to producing once again. He's at 74 supply. Remember, just moments ago he was at like 71 of 20 or 71 of 30 supply. Now he's at 76, so he's only gained a few supply here overall. In the past few minutes, mostly just popping out overlords and trying to replace that brutal supply cap, to fix that brutal supply cap that was foisted upon him by these Corsairs. Nice moves there, trying to deal some damage to the Corsairs, but oh man, those Corsairs, if they find that group of overlords, could be deadly to the game plan here of Queen. Kind of supply blocked here already. Queen at 86 of 86. Lose an overlord as well. Hopefully he's got a few in production right now, otherwise he's going to be stuck here for quite a while. 5 Corsairs looking for their mark. Can they find a big group of overlords to pick off? He's going for one. A little bit of moving shot going down there, and a great distraction tactic, pushing away these Hydra, making sure that they're busy dealing with the Corsair crisis and not able to defend the 4th base for Queen. And 4th base not going to go down for a little while here. That DT is just standing right in the way of it. Any drones that are sent to take that base will immediately be killed off. Some overlords being caught crossing the map. 2 more do die. 102 of 86. Queen supply blocked yet again. He hasn't taken his 4th base yet. No 3rd on the way for Snow either, though. There's still hope here for Queen, who's gotten a pretty decent army set up here, and he's going to be able to surround with the Hydra. Actually, the surround just about gets surrounded there. A lot of Hydras in the north, some lurkers being produced. More lurkers coming up here, and the group of zealots just going to run away from the side here, run down the side and try to get into a position for a counterattack. Just about getting all of his units caught, though. Ooh, huge lurker drop here, killing off a ton of probes. At the same time, an attack in the front gets thwarted by a couple of well-placed storms. Big! Oh my god, these lurkers! Oh! Oh my god, so many kills. 12 kill lurker there in the back. Are there any probes left? I don't think so. Oh, that cannon even gets picked off as well, but the lurker dies at the same time. Man, if that lurker had survived, that would have been amazing for Queen. There is an observer out now, and there are some dragoons as well, but the probe count is incredibly low. I would say about 20 probes right now maximum are available for Snow, and Queen is going to take this game, guys. He's holding out very well in the front. I don't think that Snow can push out. I won't count him out just yet, but this is a dire, dire situation for Snow. No probes at all. He is completely stuck inside of his base, and this is not how I expected this game to go at all. But Queen really killing it with the drops there. Absolutely killing it with this simultaneous attack and drop action. He had his opponent scrambling to deal with that frontal assault, and it completely caught him off guard with those drops. Now pushing out here, slowly pushing forward with the storm, with the dragoons in the front. A few zealots running around the map, still trying to get damage, but pure Hydra just being rallied straight across the map. Queen is at a supply advantage now. Some zealots making it here into the third base could get a lot of damage if they're allowed to run wild here, and it looks like an observer gets picked off, thwarting the breakout attempt of Snow. He's not going to be able to get out just yet. Not without some more observers here, not without some more detection. Still have some Corsairs running around in the front, looking for some of those overlords. Zealots running forward here, but that's a lot of lurkers. You can't really take that fight right now. Snow just not enough. Nothing in the bank here, and only a few dragoons left over, getting crushed by these Hydra. There's not even a single Templar here for a storm. Another drop with another lurker in the back. Some more kills going down. The probes have to be pulled. The cannons are going down in the natural as well. Some DTs do pop out and try to get some work done here, but of course, an Overlord can be pulled forward at any moment, and these DTs will be eliminated. And that's going to be it, guys. Wow, what a game. GG. Queen is your victor. Takes down Snow there. Beautiful, beautiful play with the drops. Both of these top tier Zerg players, Soma and Queen, killing it with the drops today, man. That was some beautiful moves. You rarely ever see moves like that pulled off so fluidly as what we saw with Queen, just as he's attacking, microing so many units at the same time, also having enough hotkeys to throw drops into the mix. Really, really impressing me there. Queen looking right on form, and the Zerg players are going to win this week, guys. Alright, guys, here are your point rankings so far. We've got Protoss in the lead with 6 points, Zerg in second place with 4, and Terran behind in the pack with only 2 points. You can see we're still quite tight here. Only 2 points between each of these leaders, or each of these teams, I guess you could say. There's still a lot of room here. We've still got 4 more weeks of KCM to find out who's going to take that top spot. Still a lot of prize money to be had. Congratulations to Protoss this week for taking home that $750 prize. No all kills were had this week. We'll look forward to the next. Hope for some more great games. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Saiyan SC. See you guys next time.